Hey, Spaz.
Hawk too.
Well, that was disgusting. But hey, Spaz.
What?
Well, if nothing else, at least we can say we lost twice to the 16-0 perfect national champion Hoosiers. I guess we got that going for us.
Yeah.
But we have one team to add to the list, Spaz.
Miami, your team sucks.
Every week your team sucks. Every week we let you know we are here to make fun of you. The After Dark Show is upon you. The After Dark Show is upon you. Every week your team sucks. Every week we let you know we are here to make fun of you. Every week your team sucks.
That is right, everyone. Welcome in to the special After Dark show right here on Tuesday night instead of the Quacking Off show, but right here on the Quacking Off channel. So great to see you guys. Yeah,
Quack.
wow. It is the end of the 2025 season. So before we get into this real quickly, everyone, this Sunday night, important. One, hit the like quickly, consider subscribing, hit the notifications, and this Sunday night, we will have, after the NFL games, we will have basically the 2025 season review on the After Dark show. Talk about the biggest upsets, surprises, losings, teams, all that, all that shit. And it will be the season finale of the 2025 season for the After Dark show, season of morning. Yeah, I stole that from Daniel Tosh. Okay. Go, Dave. Come on. Be positive.
Speaking
was a
of
long one.
interviews, did you
A
get
five
Rocky?
months.
One at a
Rocky?
time. One at a time. One at a time, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We popped at the same time.
Oh, I think I just threw up. I don't know what you meant there, but that sounded disgusting.
Speaking of interviews, did you get Rocky?
Motherfucker ain't hit me back yet.
Oh,
Times all this week and nothing back yet. I'm like, son of a bitch. Anyways, yeah, hummus. You know what? We will do this. I'll drop the link for you here in just a second. Let me pull it up. But Sean, Spaz, how are you doing tonight after last night's epic performance and domination of the Big Ten 3 years in a row now in the national title game?
Hey, the Great Lakes Triangle holds here.
Is Indiana really considered part of the Great Lakes Triangle, though?
What was that?
Are they
Michigan,
really?
Ohio?
I know, but are they really considered part of the Great Lake Triangle? I don't think so.
I
think
mean,
you just made that-
Indiana, Michigan, Ohio State. I mean,
Well, I guess you're not. Well, you can't talk about Wisconsin that way or Minnesota. So
There is a point where you can be standing and be in every single state that has won the last 3 national championships. There's a point. Not exactly sure where there it is or how you would get to there, but
I was going to say that sounds like a cult.
it does exist.
the Indiana cult is legit. Don't let anybody fool you.
New Buffalo. Okay.
New Buffalo is on the lake shore. New Buffalo is right by.
I was going to say, I literally just pulled it up on the map. I'm like, Troy.
No.
Troy is high as shit.
No,
Well,
New Buffalo.
I mean,
New Buffalo isn't anywhere close to Ohio.
Yeah, it's not close to Ohio. It is Indiana, Michigan.
There's a school called Trine University. It used to go by the name of Tri-State University, and that is in Angola, Indiana. I think.
Oh my
that's
god,
what
I was literally just looking at. I'm like, don't even give me shit. There's an Angola, fucking Indiana. I just saw it, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's like a 5 minute. It's like 5 minutes from both the Michigan and Ohio board.
I mean, there is a Sandusky, Ohio.
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
and,
there is.
and that place is almost as responsible for getting children wet as.
Fuck. Fucking.
Oh,
That was the best one in a while. Oh shit!
and right across, right across from Sandusky too is Put in Bay. I know. I swear to God, it is. Hold on. People are not gonna. If people are not from there, they're not gonna believe that. They're gonna be like lies.
Well, believe what Jerry used to tell his kids, right?
Hold on.
Just go next door to Puddin' Bay.
Zoom out. Then it goes Sandusky. Right here. There we go. I had to find where it is.
Sandusky's like in the middle.
There's Sandusky. God damn, that's hard to see. There's Sandusky, and there's Puddin' Bay.
That's bad.
Have you guys do know what is in Sandusky, right? Very famous attraction.
What?
Cedar Point.
Yep.
It's also where Charles Woodson is from. So.
Oh, there's also. Oh my God! Right across from Sandusky on the bay is Port Clinton. Port Clinton.
That's
fucking hell! What are you people doing up there?
Yeah.
Is there a little St. James? Is there a little St. James Island off the top of that? Or?
There's Gypsum, and there's an African Safari Wild Park there. Oddly enough.
Yes. Yeah, there's
no. That was Jerry before he went to Penn State. Don't you remember, Jason?
Oh, okay. Oh hell. I was gonna send a link for hummus. That's what I was gonna do. I got totally distracted there.
I believe the Ravens announcer was spelled with a G. Like he spelled Jerry with a G. But yeah, there was one. That is true.
Still, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I'm coming, hummus. I'm coming. So I guess one of our topics was, besides obviously looking at this national title game, we have to consider the last 3 years, right? And some people brought it up, and I've seen a certain conference defend themselves and complain that, it's just one of those years. Is the SEC is the SEC finished? Has the Big Ten proven that they are dominant? And notably, again, too, in this realm, Miami took out 2 of the SEC teams.
Yep, and Indiana took out 1. Well, destroyed, absolutely dismantled one of them.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think you can make much of a case for the SEC being the best conference this season for sure. It's really not close. They had a terrible bowl season. The Big Ten dominated the bowl season. Had by far the best record of any conference. Yeah, it's the SEC is living on borrowed credibility, right? And they still were the league that got the most playoff teams in, right? They had 5 teams get in the playoffs this year, and I think.
Hey, you need to shut your fucking mouth for a second. For the first time ever, and probably only time.
Another Ohio State? Why are we letting all these Ohio State people?
Because they're all bandwagon fans. But this one definitely, like Troy, looks like he's on something right now. Everyone, welcome in Hummus Hero.
Drugga. Drugs! Look out, drug train coming through. Who wants some drugs?
I couldn't even see him up close. I just saw the beanie, and I was like, oh no. Hey, Hummus, how you doing?
No, I'm not on it. Hey, how's it going? I've talked to Sean before numerous times, but
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Welcome
Good chat.
aboard, man. Welcome on the hell train.
I'm just always dropping gems in the chat. Good to have you on, man.
yeah, thanks.
What do you think,
Thanks for
Hummus?
allowing me to join.
Yeah. What do you think, Hummus? What do you think the SEC is done?
I don't know if they're done, but I mean, now it's to the point where they're like dedicated fan base is arguing from the point of our cellar dwellers are better than yours, so that makes we're still better because we have our cellar dwellers will they'll beat yours. So
Our bad teams will beat yours. Meanwhile, they won the conference. I think the only team they beat that wasn't another SEC team in the playoffs was Tulane. So, yeah, their other wins were both just SEC friendly fire.
well,
Yeah.
I was listening to Feinbaum earlier, and even Feinbaum is, he's abandoned ship. So, it's getting bad when Feinbaum's not even trying to rationalize things or spend it.
Oh, wow. He has abandoned ship?
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting because
funny.
they were just making new excuses like, it's just an off year. We got the teams in we finally wanted to. We didn't last year. No, we just had an off year. Like, go fuck yourselves. Like, just live with the fact that the Big Ten is at least equal and shown to be better than you are. Just admit it, at least on some years.
I had like endless debates with Darrell through the offseason about this, where he was qualifying that the SEC was still the best conference last season. He does not have a leg to stand on this year. It is just not close.
No.
Oh, he's still trying. I debated him the other night on Only Talk Sports, Jeffrey's channel. He's the one who's using the our cellar dwellers are better than yours argument.
Oh, God.
I mean, you're. I guess I would have said your old cellar dwellers are almost winning now, but the Big Ten's old cellar dweller just won a national.
Won the national championship. The
That's
biggest cellar dweller of all time.
Yeah, that's the thing is that it used to be that people always poked at the Big Ten and said, "Oh, well, it's just Ohio State and Michigan." It's just three teams: Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. And now you just simply can't say that. I mean, Indiana just won it, so it's the same argument that the SEC used to use: is that every year you don't know who it's going to be; anybody could win it. And I mean, realistically, it's true. Like Oregon, I mean, if you would have told me 2 years ago that a Big Ten team was going to win their first national title in this season, I would have said, okay, Oregon, yeah, they're past due. It's going to happen. But Indiana, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. If anybody told me 2 years ago you had Indiana winning back-to-back 10-win seasons, getting into the first 2 years of the title
Playoffs.
playoffs and winning it in year 2, going 27-2 over that 2-year stretch, I would have told you were fucking high on some serious drugs.
Yeah, I mean, just correct. Yeah, I mean, like what they've done this year has absolutely no historical analog, no precedent. I mean, and what's amazing to me is, I mean, I thought Cincinnati was a really good hire, and I wasn't going to be surprised if he made them competitive. But there's really nothing in his track record that suggested this kind of turnaround was even a possibility. He had been a very good coach at his places before. And he did a good job at James Madison, but they weren't winning or even really competing for FCS championships.
Yeah, but he took them to FBS and built them up into what they became. So, I mean, the point is he did have a record, but I would agree 100%. One, I thought the hire initially from Indiana was great. I thought that was a great hire for them.
Mhm.
But to see what he did in year one and then to go, what can he do year two and see initially how it went, I was like, okay, well, all he's done is, as Signetti says, I win. Google me.
Google me.
Well, now Google's full. Signetti. Google's crashing right now.
People are well aware of the record. You know, Google not needed. Yeah, yeah. I made a comment that Indiana was the worst Power Four job in the country. It's a school where even the in-state talent that the state does produce, which isn't that great, isn't that much. They never consider Indiana. They never have before. I mean, they're fighting against against historic programs right in their backyard, and yeah, the fact is that they couldn't get any 5 stars from Indianapolis or the Chicago area. Like they just couldn't
And
compete for.
they do produce some good talent too. It just used to be Ohio State would basically take whoever they wanted out of Indiana, and then maybe Notre Dame would try to get in on it, and
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, and I've seen some discussions today about like how have the new changes in college football made this more of a possibility than it would have been 5, 10, 50 years ago. It's an interesting question to ponder here. Not, they were able to bring in a bunch of experienced quality players. They didn't really have to go through the traditional rebuilding process that programs used to have to do in the past. He was able to bring in 13 players, I think, from a quality program, and then had an eye for talent.
He brought what, 20-some players with him from James Madison?
I thought I saw it was 13 last year, but I don't know for sure. I mean,
It's somewhere 13 to 20. Let's put it that way. And guess what?
Between Portal and whatnot, yeah.
Let's put it 75% of those guys obviously clicked and worked out really, really well.
Yes.
Signetti has done an amazing evaluation of players, put them in the best positions, and his coaching staff around them. You got to give it all around applause. One, like Spaz said, 2 years, win a national title, 2-10, 2 years later, 16-0, perfect national title.
Yeah, first team to ever win 16 games in a season.
You got hats off to Signetti.
Yale in 1894.
Yeah, Signetti, the players, the staff, the administration as a whole at Indiana. You've got to give a full round of applause for their commitment.
They had the president of Indiana on Pat McAfee yesterday, and she was saying how they started this vision 5 years ago with Tom Allen, and and built through that, and the amount of Indiana alum nationwide is just, they got the biggest fan base in America in sports and stuff as far as alumni. They reach coast to coast and east to west and everything.
Was that not proven in the 3 playoff games?
Oh yeah,
Specifically
70-30
Atlanta against the Ducks. It was all Indiana, and even in Miami's
70-30
home stadium.
last night. 70-30. They drank. There's a 3-section area of the stadium, like section 22 to 24, something like that, where they completely drank the entire stadium out of Michelob Ultra.
Well, I mean, that sounds very Indiana to me.
That's what they were saying last night.
I was like, very specific.
A 3-section crew drank the entire stadium's allotment of beer.
Well,
I feel like it was poetic justice that the Indiana fans overwhelmed Hard Rock, considering the fact that if you ever watch a Miami game during the regular season, the stadium's like 2/3 empty. So fans were trying to get tickets. I'm sure the big money people in Miami and Indiana fans just bought them all up. It was like you kind of get serve in a way. You weren't there.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I was done. I was just rambling. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. Like the moment that Miami beat Texas A&M, the ticket prices for the Cotton Bowl dropped from the lowest you could get was like in the $250 range, and it dropped all the way down to like $40 as soon as Miami won that game. Now, granted, that would have been a near home game for Texas A&M. But Miami fans, they just don't travel. They don't have this diehard fan base. Now, whenever they do good, they pop off on Twitter and are the most annoying pieces of crap on earth. But
that's because their fan base is like their teams. They don't travel outside of the state of Florida.
Oh, true. That is true, though. Wasn't this year? This year or last year was the first time Florida had gone out of the state of Florida. It was like 2 years ago, and in Miami, the same thing. Like they've never gone out for non-con or something like that outside the state of Florida.
Which, I mean, it is bad, but I mean, to give them some credit, I mean, they do play the interstate rival every year as one of their non-con games, so I don't know. It doesn't completely justify it, but it does kind of explain it a bit.
There's our Trojan fan, not Erica, but
I was gonna say, that's not me.
Okay, you haven't converted to the Men of Troy?
It's not. Sorry to say.
I do want to agree with that, though, Spaz. The thing with Miami fans is unless Miami's even decent, they don't care. Absolutely don't care. And even then, they do not seem to. I think they just don't want to have disappointment. Which is probably why I don't travel to big games. 1, because I don't have the money. 2, why would I want to be devastated and go, I just spent this much money to travel for this?
Yeah.
Miami is the epitome of fair weather culture.
Hey, I still have to sit here and take it like a man live on air in front of the millions. Not really.
I'd like to address a comment by Trojan Fight. Erica's still mad at USC loss. She hates that her team lost them more than any other school. Well, maybe Iowa State. Actually, that's not. I don't hate USC. I didn't say I hated them. And we'll get you next time, so I'm not that worried about it, to be really blunt.
Is that on the schedule next year? Iowa USC?
I'm not sure if they're on our schedule again next year. I know we played them this year and we lost, but yeah, I don't hate USC. I'm just not a fan of theirs. I don't know why some people have trouble seeing that nuance, but anyway.
Because USC have problems seeing reality.
What did you say? I didn't hear you over the lovely song that Spaz was singing.
USC is just one of those schools that has to embrace a villain role. Honestly, don't they? I mean, no one else is gonna like you guys. You're from freaking LA. You're from LA. You have all these Heisman winners, and you have all. I mean, like the whole appeal of USC is to be a little bit cold and arrogant and aloof. Like they're like a West Coast Michigan. I mean, just embrace it. No one's gonna like you except you guys.
Well, I mean what I said. I don't dislike them. I'm indifferent. I don't care.
I don't either. But I'm just saying, like they're Oregon. I think a lot of people can like them, can find reasons to have affection for Oregon as a program, but not USC. No. USC's embrace the villain role. Don't get so prickly and upset when people talk trash to you.
USC's always been one of the most hated programs.
Yeah.
But they make themselves that too, because every year it really started, especially when they're like, we're back. And they came out doing that, like, what was it? The like bear crawl, dog walk, like wild animal thing at the Alabama game in like 2016 or whatever, and absolutely got just demolished.
Yeah, I remember.
It was just like, I mean, I've always hated. As Ducks fans, we've always hated USC. So maybe other teams haven't because they don't deal with them like we did. But we've always disliked USC. I won't say hated, just disliked. I think USC hates the Ducks more than actually we hate them. We just really dislike them.
Yeah, I always hear the back and forth between like people like you and Tim Prangley, and a lot of back and forth.
But that's football. It's all about the back and forth with rivals.
It never goes over the top though. Like typically, like if you get like aggressive Ohio State and Michigan fans in a chat room together on a video call like this, it will end up like potentially going bad. Like,
yeah, it can get really ugly.
But there's levels to it. So
Yeah.
now USC and Notre Dame fans, they'll really get nasty with each other. I've seen that. I've been witness to that.
And I kind of think that, I mean, we're drifting way off topic here, but I kind of think that this little hiccup in the rivalry is only going to intensify the school's hatred for each other. Yeah. I think it's only going to make the message board discussions more vile, and it's only whenever they do actually rekindle the rivalry, it's just going to make those games even more hostile.
See, I will say one thing I like this season. Some people said they've said negative things. Our interactions, Spaz and I at least, our interaction with like Indiana fans, whether it be the Oregon game or the playoff game, they've all been great. The Indiana fans that we've met have been great people. So I'm wondering if this turns them into those types of assholes, or if they're just going to be the same team next year where they're like, well, let's see what happens, because it's all new to them now. This is brand new, not just the national title, of course, but the success.
Yeah. So
how do they handle it as a fan base?
You're thinking that they get a sweet drink of that nectar from the chalice of victory, and they end up kind of drunk on power by this time next year, and they're calling everybody out, and control, raging.
You guys might have already talked about this because I was late. I was watching the Iowa basketball game, so sorry about that. But what was I going to say? Do you guys think that Indiana will continue being this good, or do you, now that Fernando's gone, or do you think it's going to not continue? What do you guys think about that? Do you think they're here to stay?
there's the thing about this is they did this with guys that weren't ranked real high. Everyone talks about how much they lost. They're losing going into next year, and they are losing most of the significant contributors. But these guys weren't like highly sought after or highly, you know, uh, highly coveted players coming out of school. They weren't even all that highly coveted in transfer portal. Mendoza was in there last year. When I heard that they got him, I'm like, okay, that's a good replacement. And I didn't think, okay, this guy's going to be a Heisman Trophy winner, number 1 overall pick. I think that what they've done with what they've had should give you confidence that they can do it again. This doesn't seem like luck to me. It seems like they've got a system. They've got a system. They've got a program that probably will just continue. I think this kind of season is going to be very, very rare. It probably will never happen again, honestly, at Indiana. But
you'll take it.
I would absolutely put money down that they're going to have a really strong program.
Sean, you need to shut your pie hole. We gotta let in a salty fan base here while he's at work. Gotta let in a salty fan base who's about to rage quit the Big Ten. Well, let him in.
Oh yeah!
Hello?
That graphic was amazing.
Oh.
Minnesota Dave.
Hey, Minnesota Dave.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How are you doing? Are we getting a good glimpse of the ceiling at a hall at the University of Minnesota right now?
What did you say? You kind of like went on and out of.
Are you on campus right now?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very quiet. Half the kids are taking their classes online right now.
Oh yeah. Is anything happening in Minneapolis that would cause it right now?
Well, I don't know. I mean, a lot of racial profiling happening, and a lot of times I had.
I'm not going to listen to that disparagement of a federal law enforcement agency. Not going to listen to that disparaging remarks from Dave.
For driving while having Ethiopians in the goddamn car, so I'm not really happy.
He's still going.
They fight the power.
Have they drug you through the streets yet, Dave?
No, they just asked for IDs. And then they just looked at the university vehicle, and I recognized one of the guys. So he was kind of like, I don't want to be like caught doing this. And then they realized that my guys on my crew are all Ethiopian.
Oh well, there went half your crew.
Yeah, it's.
I had a comment, but I'm not going to do it.
It's fucked up right now. I'm very, very upset right now. What's going on? So
because of that, or Indiana being better than Minnesota?
Ouch! Beat him while he's down.
You know,
it's probably 50-50. It's probably 50-50 for Dave.
I don't care about it. I like Indiana doing this. This is good for like the conference. I'm not angry at Indiana.
It is
He's right
good.
about that.
Like as all Big Ten fans, we want to think like, oh, this was a good story and we like this, but the reality is now we got to deal with Indiana. Like, so it's probably not going away. Like they might not be at this level every year, but as long as they hold on to that, I mean, Ben earlier, I kind of think Signetti's superpower is kind of his talent evaluation. Not to say that he's not a good X's and O's guy and a good culture builder, but I think that he's always going to be able to see talent and grab it. And you can.
Yeah, he has Mark Cuban's money for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
As long as he keeps getting contributions from Mark Cuban, he'll have no issue.
You know,
if we had Mark Cuban at Iowa, we'd be winning national championships too.
Yeah, exactly. In Minnesota, I think our biggest donor is a huge local grocery store chain called Cub Foods.
Cub Foods, yeah.
I know Cub Foods.
They're the only ones that are really putting more money into the NIL stuff.
they always had the logo on the court there at the basketball arena. I remember that.
Yeah, it's a huge chain out in Minnesota. I don't know if they're down in Iowa or in Wisconsin, but I know they're big in
They
Minnesota.
used to be out here too.
They used to be in Illinois as well. I live in Illinois, and they've been here. I remember when I was a kid. Yeah, they had them out here.
I mean, I've spent a lot of time in the Midwest, and I don't think I've like. I mean, I've been kind of everywhere around the Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Wisconsin area, and I don't even think I've ever seen a Cub Foods.
I want to say I've seen it in Wisconsin too.
We have
Wisconsin. Piggly Wiggly's a big one in Wisconsin.
Yes,
it's like the weirdest one because it's like mostly southern and then randomly in Wisconsin.
Yeah, yes. Troy, that's what I thought. Yeah, we used to have them. That's right.
Exactly. We had them in Ohio, but I don't think it was since like the late 80s. It's been like ages. They're not here anymore.
I guess, Dave, Erica, you're here, literally. Yes. What does this say? And also the rest of the panel, obviously. So last year, with the addition of the 4 West Coast teams, obviously Oregon ran through the Big Ten. I won't say ran through it, like dominated it, but neither did Indiana this year, for instance. You know, they had a couple close games, but went undefeated. Now this year, Indiana goes undefeated completely. What is the rest of the Big Ten from the fan bases thinking going, God, what did we do?
Well, I'll tell you what the fan base is at like Michigan State, Illinois, Wisconsin, you know, the mid-tier Big Ten programs. They're all saying, if they can do it, we sure as hell can too.
Well, I think everybody has.
There's just an immense amount of pressure, I think, on any coach coming into the league right now because of what Cignetti has done at Indiana.
I would agree with that. Yeah. And I also think that having a coach who's going to retire, sooner rather than later, I think that puts a lot of pressure on our AD. So when the time comes, she really needs to pick the right person, because I feel like the way Indiana recruits, like you said yourself earlier, Sean, they've got 3 stars that they develop. That's very similar to Iowa's formula. And that's why I said if we had a Mark Cuban, we'd be in a similar situation. So if we get a coach who is capable of attracting donors, then that might be very helpful for us. So I think that I like seeing those stories of the underdogs kind of coming up and winning and that type of thing, because, even though Iowa hasn't done it at that level, we do win games that we're quote unquote not supposed to, or we get close to winning games that we're quote unquote not supposed to. So I like the underdog story because a lot of times we are the underdog.
Yeah. It's just kind of a shame for Iowa that they're in the situation that they are, where they don't have like a big sugar daddy booster donor. And they also aren't exactly in an area that they can just like use the economic prowess of the. See, that's like why Ohio State's always going to be in a unique advantage. Same thing with Texas. Not only do they have some pretty big boosters, but also just the reality of like Columbus, Ohio being like a top 30 metro area in the country and not having any real competition from pro sports teams. So like the reason why Ohio State, the AD came out and said that we're going to play with the rules of the NIL Go, like the clearinghouse thing, is because they're in the position to. Whereas like Texas Tech, what they're doing, they're not playing by the rules whatsoever, but they're in Lubbock, Texas. They don't have an economic powerhouse of a community surrounding them that's going to actually provide the players with like real NIL.
Well,
I think in a way you're right. In a way,
yeah, NIL is not a problem at Texas.
Yeah, their main booster, like, what did he sold his oil company for like $4 billion or something like that. I mean, that guy could finance Texas Tech for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah.
But one thing I was gonna say is, as far as no pro team, there's no pro team in Iowa either. So I mean, that's not.
But I Iowa doesn't have a single city as big as Columbus, so that's a
Right.
different. And Ohio also, I mean, hate to sound snobby here, but like the history and tradition of developing inside the state, like the tradition of football from a young age. I mean, it's just part of the DNA of the state.
It
In a
is.
No,
way,
I
it's
understand that, but
in a way-
I'd
in a
argue
way it is
back
now.
that Iowa is like top, I don't know what the current statistic is, but like top 15 or 20 in NFL draft players.
It is. They've got a great program. They develop.
We take people
ath-
like George Kittle, who was a 2-star, and make him the best tight end in the league.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I said that's why I kind of feel bad because Iowa's like the ultimate lemons and the lemonade. Like as far as a program, they like people always say, oh Iowa, you know, they kind of get that kind of treatment from people like they're like like the 8-4 every year thing. But the reality is Iowa does more with less like consistently than probably any program in the country. Like that's
Like I do with my co-host here, who is gone. Look at this. Less is more sometimes. Less is more.
You have an ultimate shrine to bandwagon fandom in the background there. You got
Eric.
90.
That's what I've told him multiple times.
Hey, Erica, does John Deere give any money to the NIL?
Yes, I do.
All right, so
I
they
contribute
split
to the Swarm Collective.
it to the Storm.
John
Collective.
Deere. I didn't know John Deere.
I'm not a big contributor, but I contribute.
You gotta become a billionaire, Erica, so you can become the Iowa football sugar mama.
I would love it. I would love nothing more than to be able to become that. 'Cause that would mean I could retire and stop working, which I would love.
I give
But
my
anyway.
$5 to the dinky town.
Yeah, I give I think $20 every month. Like I have I set up through the Swarm the automated donation. It's not a lot of money, but you know,
Hey,
it's better than nothing, right?
1,000 people get $20 a month.
It's not Mark
It's not
Cuban
a lot
money.
at a time, but it adds up to a lot of money in the long run. You know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and you know, too, the thing is that not every cent of what I or anyone else gives goes to football. You know, like a lot of our money does, not a lot, but a percentage of it does go to women's basketball now. We can pretty much women's basketball get any player we want.
Well, I know Iowa, without question, has the biggest wrestling collective, NIL collective in the country, and that's not even close.
Yeah. Although I don't know much of anything about wrestling. Never followed it.
Yeah,
I know that we're darn good in that.
I mean, like it's a huge deal at Iowa. So
I mean, that's why our linemen are so good. A lot of them were wrestlers.
oh yeah, Tyler Linderbaum, and then Tristan Wirfs. I watched a match of them wrestle each other in high school.
Yep, I saw that footage. They put it on the Big Ten Network quite a bit, and a lot of documentaries.
So what is it taking now? I said a question. There was a comment from Merce earlier, just a little bit ago. Is the Big only 3 teams? I would say no, because Iowa's like right. I mean, Iowa's right there. They literally had 3 losses by like 12 points. Erica,
Mm-hmm.
and if they had won one of those, that would have changed the whole trajectory of the season.
I know.
The Big Ten's bowl record was really good this year. I mean, they only lost like they only lost like 3 games outside of the playoffs. 3.
And we beat Vanderbilt and we beat Pavia, so that makes it all worth it.
They were like 11-5.
You did the nation a big favor. I'm pretty sure everyone was Iowa fans watching that game.
Even I cheered for the Hawks.
Whoa, you cheered for the Hawks? Holy cow, this is being recorded,
I hate the SEC
right?
more than I hate the Hawkeyes.
Yeah. Yeah, Pavia's just don't even get me going on him.
That guy's
but
I was
so happy to beat him.
Oh, we got a C drop here tonight. I love it. Love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, you're not on Mark's platforms anymore, so we can cuss as much as we want. We can say whatever.
That is right. That is absolutely right.
That you're damn fucking right about that.
Fuck yeah.
No, we haven't talked like much at all about Miami tonight. I wouldn't like. Do we think Miami's success from the season is sustainable? Because I think that's a lot more questionable than Indiana.
I don't think Miami in the long run is going to be successful. They lose recruiting. I mean, we beat them in recruiting battles often, and so do other schools. So like, and they've been kept. I noticed. I only watched their last few games, like the playoffs and that. They make a lot of stupid mistakes that cost them.
Yeah.
I will give as Spaz and I can probably agree. The playoff games though were probably Cristobal's best coaching wise, in the way that he hasn't like shot himself in the foot like he has in other games. But again, they still never won the ACC. In 24, 25 years, they've only competed for the ACC title once.
Only
they've
once,
never
really?
won the ACC.
Wow.
But now they all of a sudden want to like, step up when it matters and still lose at home in the national title game. Granted, not by much, obviously, against a really good Indiana team, not by much. You had home field advantage, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Literally had home field advantage.
I just
playoff wins. They got 3 playoff wins, but they still have no ACC title and no national title to show for it. But hey, you know what? Like I've been saying, I made a few comments. Like you don't have those 2 things, but you still do have 2 things that are far more valuable. You got Ray Lewis dressed up on the sideline like a 1930s Great Depression bootlegger. Like, do you see that hat? You see that hat? His outfit.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody saw that.
Yes, yeah. He went full Capone right there. Yeah.
And you got Michael Irvin, pulling the air belt up onto your coach, So I mean, you have that, right? Who needs national or ACC titles?
Miami
Irvin
put on the
passing
banana
out bags
peel,
of
got into
Coke
the
on the
championship
sideline.
game.
I like to think Michael Irvin goes into the locker room after a game and
Act like a bulldog the whole entire time.
and just cuts a line right down there and picks that guy up. You're the player of the game. You can snort up. that is what I like to imagine.
Jason is saying the truth here about Miami. I agree with him 100%.
I've got nothing. Miami.
This is a Cristobal special in the sense of like Spaz and I know. In the pack, for instance, you would always lose 1 game, maybe 2, that you're like, how in the hell did we lose to that team? That's Miami every year.
That's just Cristobal.
I know, but I'm just saying that is now Miami every year. Continuation.
He just makes too many questionable calls and mistakes. Like his team is not, like Jason said, they're not disciplined. And if you play a team like Indiana, you can't win if you're that undisciplined.
He does build a team the correct way, though. He starts on the lines of scrimmage, and that team was nasty up front on both sides of the ball. Just like you said, just undisciplined, too many mistakes. Just can't. And that's why I knew that it was probably. And Indiana honestly played like the sloppiest game that I watched them all year.
Yeah, definitely.
Miami, in my opinion, that's their culture, though. That's undisciplined and be a bunch of dicks.
I will say one thing that kept killing Miami, just like every other team Indiana's played, Miami did not learn from mistakes that Oregon did twice. Stop giving them cushion for like 8-yard little simple curl hitch routes. Stop it, because it's almost an auto first down.
Well,
Those
that's
are-
like a lack of preparation. Like the coaches didn't prepare and didn't show enough film.
I know Oregon did it twice, and it was killing us. And then Miami did the same thing for like half the game last night. It was like, what are you doing?
Well, I think they fear that you're going to take they're going to take shots on them if you come up and press too hard. If
Well,
you're
don't press then. Just do kind of a mid. I mean, like just semi-press the line. You know, like I mean, you've got to make an adjustment somewhere as a coordinator when you're game playing specifically for one team. You can make those adjustments.
They had so much time to do it too.
That was I'm gonna get a little nerdy, just a little X's and O's here for a second. One of the great things Indiana did, they killed teams, just murdered them all year on these back shoulder fades against anytime anybody tried to press them. They hit these so freaking well. They are the best team I've ever seen at just getting the hitch. Mendoza gets the ball out in 1.5 seconds. It's usually right in the right spot. Receivers always make the right adjustments to them. So they're so dangerous to press because they could just run that play so well over and over again. So I think a lot of teams are like, you know what? We're not going to give up 30-yard plays all the time. You want to get these 7-8 yards here and there, we'll give them to you on occasion.
Well, the thing is, too, is that they were effective. Like, it's easy to say that, don't give them the cushion, but they were effective running the ball. Like, not huge chunks all night, but they were just effective enough to make the RPO work. And the closer you bring that slot corner into the box, then he doesn't have time to recover. The RPO throws him off, and then it's pick your poison, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what they did all year. So they had a balanced offensive attack. That's what makes them so dangerous.
And what was amazing with them in their RPO concepts was that the RPO was super in vogue about like 10 years ago. It was like RPO. And then I remember like 4 or 5 years ago, like, is the RPO dead? Like teams that are just running this aren't effective offensively. Has it been solved? And now you see a team that lives on the RPO, just drills it to death. Just take the least talented team to ever win a national championship. Go 16-0 with that. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
I think that's overstated, though, Sean. I think that talent, like Indiana's receivers, are all NFL players, like all three of them. And Becker's just a sophomore. People don't realize that he's a sophomore. So, like, he's only going to get better, and he's fast and huge. Like, he's just, like, Becker might end up being the best pro out of all three of them. So, like, he's really good. Did you know that he's an Ohio State legacy? Becker's a linebacker for Ohio State. Didn't offer.
Yeah, he was. I mean, well, Becker. He played. He was like an early 2000s. That his dad was, right? I don't think he ever really actually. I think he was.
I think he's actually like mid to late 90s.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was a while ago, but yeah,
that was Matt Pincus saying that he played with them. So yeah, that would have been about the time. Yeah, remember.
But yeah, I think they were talented. I mean, I'm not saying that like the discussion that a lot of people have been having is 2019 LSU because of the undefeated, deal. And obviously 2019 LSU specifically on offense is probably way more talented. But like, I think it's kind of been understated or, Indiana has talent. Like, you're not doing this without talent. Like, that's a talented roster, like after the fact, none of those recruiting rankings matter. I mean, like Pons is an NFL cornerback, regardless of his size. Like, he's a really, really good corner. What's the Kamara? He's an NFL player. There's NFL players on both sides of the ball. So,
for my Oregon boys, what do you guys think of beginning our safety, Corey Parrish?
I think it's a great move.
It depends on what you're going to get out of him because last year he sucked.
He didn't look great last year. That's true.
He couldn't
Yeah.
have
Iowa wanted him bad out of high school too.
Yeah, he had the most missed tackles in the Big Ten.
Really?
Well,
Oh my.
Yeah,
I'll
this
tell you
year.
this
And-
much: if he doesn't tackle in spring ball, he won't see the field.
He'll
yeah,
be making bank. I don't know how much he'll care about that.
Yeah.
He was still number one ranked safety in the portal though, so that's people still are high on him. Did you see who else you got?
His upside is super, super high. He's one of the most athletic, rangy safeties you'll find. And honestly, like, I'm not really surprised that he missed that many tackles. I don't think that's his game at all. I think he is a pure center field kind of a player.
Mhm.
breaking
Well,
up the passes. He only had one interception this year. He had like 4 last year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you play differently when you know teams play you differently when they know they've got that eraser back there.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
gonna.
they also don't have like the strong corners, the corner like Wally and a lot of the better defensive backfield that they did last year.
Did
No.
you see who else Oregon got today out of the portal? They got
Who?
Well,
Aaron Scott Jr.
Yeah.
You hear about that, Sean? Yep.
I've been occupied.
So
Much
we'll
like
see.
Dave.
I think he's going to be in a position at Oregon. Like, I don't think the cupboard's bare there, and they have young, talented players. Like, they just got. He's a safety, but like the defensive backfield in general, they just landed the number one safety corner nickel guy out of Ohio previously, Trey McNutt. So like he's going to be in the same position at Oregon that he is at Ohio State. Maybe they give him a little bit more money, but like I don't really understand the move, honestly.
A lateral move. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah. I sometimes these portal decisions. I think these people have, the wrong people advising them.
Yep.
I mean, especially like a problem with the agents and everything is, the bigger NIL deal you can sign, the more money they make. That makes total sense when you're adults, in the future. But when you're a college kid, like just chasing dollars is not always the optimal strategy. And
it depends on the kid, though, right? Because some
Yeah.
of them, they're not going to make an NFL roster, and they might, as much as they don't want to admit it, they might know that deep down. So this is their chance to go get that money.
and that's completely fine if you're in that situation. And one thing is, if you are some of those people that just doesn't really have a chance at the NFL, you're probably not going to get that much NIL to begin with. So it's not. I mean, that's not.
I mean, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, even if it's not a mill. That's money that you can invest and turn into a lot.
I don't. I mean, I think if you're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in there, you're a person that has a chance, and is probably going to be in a camp and probably going to be on an NFL roster at some point. If you're getting that much money, I'm just saying. There's a lot of there are a lot of people with there's a lot of mixed incentives. That's what I'm saying. And
the agents want their cut. That's all. They want their money.
Honestly, you see why a lot of people think that we're going to be moving away from the true freshmen getting these big deals coming in, unless they're like a surefire, like Jeremiah Smith type or Malachi Tony type prospect, where you know 100% that they're going to be elite. A lot of people think that this just isn't going to happen because you look at somebody like Aaron Scott, and you know that immediately when he came in, he got like a good amount. But he's maybe looking around and seeing somebody on the Ohio State roster like CJ Hicks, who came in and was also like all Ohio, Mr. Everything, 5-star. And look at what happened, the career trajectory of CJ Hicks. He did nothing for 4 years and now transferred to South Florida. So like, I can't really blame them. Like Erica said, maybe down they know that that maybe there's a potential that they're not going to end up in the NFL long term. So like kind of make hay while the sun is shining financially, so to speak.
I mean, that's the other thing too, is with the star ratings, like they don't always pan out. We know that, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's part of the equation too. Like they might have 5-star or 5-star plus, like some recruits are saying nowadays, but they might not end up panning out. It's not a guarantee. So as long as they're making money, like, you know, they might be okay with not playing as much, maybe if they realize that they might have been overrated or might not pan out or whatever situation.
Well, and that's the other side of it too. Is like you guys are both talking about it. Is like, look, you sit there as a high prospect, but you don't do anything in 4 years, or you come as a highly touted guy, and you're making some money, but you don't see the field. You leave. And people are like, why? It's like because if they want to have tape potentially to go to the NFL, they need to get playing time. So they have to maybe take that risk to go, hey, okay, I've got a little money now. I'm going to take the shot because I got to be on the field. They can't show me sitting on the bench, and the NFL is going to go, that guy's going to be great.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and the NCAA, well, basically the way the system works now, you're rewarded for basically transferring every year.
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of gotten out of control.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, what is really the disincentive from a player just saying I'm going to go in every single year?
Well,
right
that
now.
also, the other part of it too, like I think gets lost in all these discussions about modern day college football is culture. Like it's become so much about money that people don't care about or don't remember or don't think about culture anymore. And that keeps guys on a roster sometimes.
But,
You know?
but we just saw a team that I think clearly had. I mean, the teams that have won the last few national championships are pretty good culture programs.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think development long term could potentially suffer from it also. Because I mean, like realistically, like don't get me wrong, you could leave one situation, like maybe Aaron Scott, for example, wasn't getting the right development at Ohio State. This is just hypothetical. And maybe when he goes to Oregon, even though he's going to be in a similar situation, competition to see the playing field, maybe he'll get better development, you know, hypothetically, and he'll thrive. So, but I think that cohesion from year to year, most of the time, is probably a better way to go, especially with certain positions like offensive line, things that are seen as more developmental, linebacker, things like that, where it's less of just reaction. And I think that long term, you know, we could actually see a decline in the product of who goes to the NFL from it. You know, that's speculation.
That's an interesting point because like what Sean was kind of hinting to is last year Will Howard. Then you had obviously like Dylan Gabriel. This year, this year you could see the 4 best quarterbacks in the playoff, for instance, were Mendoza, obviously, transfer, Beck, transfer, Chamberlain, transfer, who didn't even start the season, by the way. And then I guess you could argue like Dante Moore, even though he sat for a year behind Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little culture build, but all of them were transfers.
Julian Sand even to transfer, right?
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, so it's you could you kind of have to look at who are the best quarterbacks and stuff and kind of go, yeah, long term. Now maybe this is like a 5-year thing, and then it kind of reverts back to the whole come in as a freshman, sit for a year or 2-year, build with the team and develop and kind of go back to that philosophy. Or maybe this is just how it is. Like you get a semi-developed guy, come in, teach him the few things that he's missing.
Yeah. Well, when we're looking at kind of back to the initial idea of like hopping from school to school, year to year, like with all these quarterbacks we're mentioning, like Will Howard, he was at Kansas State for 4 years. He was developed at Kansas State. He came into Ohio State pretty much ready to go. Not that they had some shine to them, they probably did. But like Bo Nix, like he was developed 3 years at Auburn, stable there, maybe not the greatest development, and then it increased when he got to Oregon. Like you look at all these guys, same thing with Mendoza, 3 years at Cal. You know what I mean? Like all of these, or Beck, he was at Georgia forever. You know what I mean? So like most of these guys that you see that are going portal to portal every year with the quarterback situation, they're guys that aren't thriving. They're not, they're not doing well, and it's mainly just from their name initially on the recruiting. Like who was the guy that USC had on like he was like a 5-star top rated in the class.
JT Daniels, you're talking about?
No, not Daniels. The guy that they had just recently that was it.
The guy that went to Malachi Nelson.
Malachi, exactly. So like you have guys like this that literally keep taking a step down. Now he's trying to go back up a little bit, I think. But like, I mean, is this really like providing anything for these kind of guys, or would they be better suited to just stick it out at a place, even if they have to end up as a backup? Like, I don't know.
It depends, I think, on the school. It depends on the position. You have to look at what school develops your position best or helps you refine your position best. I mean, there's a difference. Like, and again, Iowa's the team that I follow, so that's the most examples I'm going to come up with. If you're a tight end at Iowa and you're not playing as a freshman, are you going to stick around and get developed properly and go to the NFL and be one of the top guys? Or are you going to switch schools 15 times? I mean,
you're going to stay at Iowa. Like you're going to stay.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it depends. There's more nuance to it, I think. Like I said, it depends what position it is.
But a lot of the times,
even Minnesota right now with running backs, they're doing the same thing.
Yeah. So, but a lot of the times with these 5-stars, I don't know, like that. What was his name, Sean? You just said it. I'm sorry, I forgot it again.
Malachi Nelson.
Yeah, Malachi Nelson. So maybe USC kicked him out the door, but like the reality is that was like the ultimate place where you would, like other than like Ryan Day and a few other people, like Lincoln Riley develops quarterbacks like no other. Like every quarterback he's worked with. So like Malachi Nelson, unless they kicked him out of the door, he should have stayed there because he was going to become better most likely in that system with that development than he would anywhere else.
But that's part of the state of play right now, though, is that these players sometimes do get kicked to the curb depending on the program and the situation at the program. So that does happen.
You're in a super deep.
I was trying to piggyback off that point. I'm sorry. I really did want to piggyback off this point Hummus made. Yeah, last year Ohio State had 5 quarterbacks who were all like high 4-star, 5-star kind of recruits. And they all went in and they all played all the way through the 2024 season. Not one of them transferred, and that was when they had the spring portal as well. So if you lost the position battle, you could go to another school. None of them did. All of them stayed because they all found value in staying in that room and staying in that.
Right. And you don't always have to. Sometimes if you're in that situation too, like the writing was on the wall for Lincoln Keenholz, but I guarantee you he got a pretty good NIL package from Louisville just because he had that Ryan Day, Ryan Day glimmer on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a chance on him because he's been working with Ryan Day for 3 years now. You know what I mean? So.
It's a good place for him to land as a quarterback too, because Louisville, they're also great at developing quarterbacks. Brom's awesome at that too.
Yeah, Brom's.
I think you're dealing with a whole bigger issue though too, and not an issue in the sense of just this, but I think you're dealing with a whole bigger picture of. We've talked about these are highly rated kids. They're getting this NIL money. One thing we have to look at is compared to say players. Just even 10 years ago. Nowadays, bam, highlight reels all over the internet praising how good they are. 20 schools, 30 schools offering them, going, we want you. You're amazing. You're great. You pick the best school, whatever, most money, coaching staff, whatever you want, whatever reason kids do. Everyone does things for different reasons, family influence, etc. Things don't work out. they get butthurt maybe, or the fan base goes, "You're a loser. You didn't turn out the way you were supposed to," and they have to decide to leave, or like has been mentioned, maybe the coaching staff goes, "Yeah, it's not working." Like Jason
Dylan
just said, now with the
Raiola.
new roster limits, like especially with the walk-ons, getting rid of walk-ons and stuff potentially, and like so now you're bringing in another kid behind you the next year that's supposed to maybe be by evaluation and all the recruiting news better than you are, and you're on the bench and you're going, this guy's going to take my job. I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
And I think also it's just kids getting butthurt these days about it.
Yeah, but eventually the coach is basically going to have to tell them, hey, look, you're just not going to cut it here. You're most likely better off going to like a MAC school or Sun Belt school or a Conference USA school and getting more playing time.
It's a combination.
It doesn't even have to go that far necessarily. As soon as the kid hears you're not playing here, they're going to want to transfer anyway. Like you don't need to go to that level. You know what I mean? You suck. Go down 15 levels.
Well, and a coach isn't going to necessarily fight for it, depending on the player, unless it's a superstar player, because they're going to go, well, that frees up a roster spot that they already have to compete with and deal with recruits and transfer portal. In a way, every open spot, it's like $3, in the sense of business to them, because.
That's the thing, though, is this has become such a business, and I feel like we've lost so much in that transition.
Yeah. I think it's overall better for the players. I applaud I like the changes for the most part. I just think it could have been rolled out in a much more in a much more orderly and in a much more organized fashion than it is now. I mean, it is too chaotic the way it is now. There's no question about it.
Yeah. Hey guys, I gotta get going pretty soon here.
Are you rage quitting, Dave?
No, I have to get going back to work.
Goddamn Minnesota fans.
Wait.
Can I at least say something?
Are you being chased right now, Dave?
What?
You being chased?
No. I have to go back to work. Seriously, I have to go back to work. My break time's almost over. But one thing I want to ask for you guys, and I'll listen in on it. Who do you think will be the next Indiana?
Ooh.
As far as success and stuff?
They have to be a program that's not usually successful at all. They're not really that good. They're kind of like where Indiana was. And now, they ended up being big donors, and then they ended up having success in end up being another Indiana. My vote is Arizona.
Good question. That was actually my question back to that would be who's getting the next Mark Cuban, because that's who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the next? Is it Cody Cunningham, the guy at Texas?
Can I say Vanderbilt? Is that acceptable, or have they already had too much success to put them into that category? Because I think Vanderbilt. I
don't see much for them.
Okay, good.
Well, they've got big money. I'll tell you that.
All right, I gotta get going. See you later, guys.
Hey, stay safe.
Bye, Dave.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Dave.
That's a good. That is a good question. Also, once Dave leaves, Duck Green, Dave, tell ICE agents what's up for him there in Minnesota.
God.
In a positive way, I would assume. But yeah, that's a good question though. Who is the next? Arizona's had some. I mean, this year they had a really good bounce back year. Really good bounce back year, and they do have Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
As a kind of
donor.
A supporter and stuff. So I mean, he has money, not that much money. I'm not saying like that much money, like a billionaire oil tycoon, but I mean, he's got money and influence.
He doesn't seem like the type of guy that's going to be dumping, billions in NIL.
I think it would be more influence.
I think Vandy could be a better program in the next 5 years than Alabama. Like I seriously believe that.
Yeah.
Their donor.
Vanderbilt is like I mean, it is a super, super prestigious school. And the people that graduate from there generally do very well in life.
Vandy
So-
has, I'm sure Vandy has plenty of rich benefactors. Like I'm sure they have plenty of cash. That's a very wealthy institution. Like the endowment is massive.
If Lee keeps up the trajectory that he's doing, you'll see Vandy in the playoffs pretty soon.
I wonder if
they almost did it this year.
I know, that's what I mean. You'll see them in the playoffs if he can keep up the momentum and get the right quarterback again, and keep up the system he's done. He's done a great. He makes the job Franklin did, I think, almost sad, because now maybe he's coming at the right time where Alabama's falling off with Nick Saban leaving. Yeah, Jimmy Fisher got fired. Every coach has this scenarios around him that he can't control. Maybe he just fell in that perfect time frame to kind of take over.
I think Vandy. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think like if you want like a 1-for-1 equivalent like Big Ten to SEC, I think Vandy is like the most realistic because of their place all time and also like what they did in the past 2 years. Like, so I don't know. But it could not. They could fall back off the face of the earth. We don't know. That could also happen.
Do you think that BYU might stand a chance?
BYU.
Oh yeah, they're a historically very good program.
Indiana, though.
1984, the 1984 national title.
BYU, even aside,
don't act like Nebraska about this.
In order to be you have to be at a low level of your conference historically. You don't have to be at the absolute bottom, but you can't, like Arizona, I guess, would be acceptable because like for a long time throughout the history of the Pac-12, 10, like they were like a cellar dweller. Like they had the Desert Swarm teams in like the 90s that were pretty decent. And then, they had a few other good teams, but like they aren't a great program historically. So like that, I guess that would be acceptable, but it has to be like a Vanderbilt or a Northwestern or a Kansas, these schools that are just perennial doormats for the most part.
Everyone has money. It wasn't money that won at Indiana. Not everyone has Mark Cuban money.
Yeah, I see. I would have if this question had been asked.
Cuban.
If this question had been asked about 2 years ago, and I would have said it then, I think I did. Even I would have said Kansas. They were on that trajectory, and then they kind of like started falling back off again.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think you have to like. I think the coach matters more. The coach and the staff, the people matter more than the money. So who has the right program builders in place? And I guess you'd have to.
Florida State. Oh, sorry.
No. Who hits the lottery and the coaching carousel in a given year? Like that team is going to probably succeed.
The administration has to be behind it, though, and I think a lot of the times why you're going to see it more likely that they go all in the Big Ten and the SEC is because the return on investment is there and it's already providing for the university. You know what I mean? So like the Indiana going now, they don't do what Notre Dame did when they go to the playoffs. They get to keep every bit of their money. I think they keep more. I can't remember exactly how it works out, but like all of that playoff money that Notre Dame got last year from appearing in the 4 games, they kept every bit of it. Like that's one of the reasons why they want to stay independent is for that reason specifically. But like within the Big Ten, you still do get a bigger cut, I believe. And just being able to maintain your position within the Big Ten is huge. Like that's a big revenue generator. And the more merchandise you can sell, like think of all that Indiana merchandise that's flying off the shelves. You know what I mean? Like you talk about fan base, the alumni base in the United States, like, I mean, that's big revenue for the university.
That
Like,
stock market, that stock market just skyrocketed in the last like few weeks. But we're almost getting to an hour and a half. We were going to do 1 hour tonight, but we're almost at an hour and a half. But let's full circle this back where it comes to, like you just said, Hummus, it comes down to the school administration, everyone having a belief in a program and a vision and a plan. And it was said earlier that Indiana had this goal in mind 5 years ago. So I don't know how true that is. Everyone could be lying about it and bullshitting. But what that says is, while Tom Allen was there, they were going, who are we looking at? And scouting coaches, watching trajectory, watching winning percentages, watching evaluation of those coaches, and said, we want Kurt Signetti. If that was true, that means they actually took time, evaluated, to then invest and immediately reinvest with him upon success. And again, in 2 years, 2-10, 2 back-to-back playoff years, and a perfect 16-0 record and a national title. If that's true, that's a model. That is a model, potentially. I mean, it's hit and miss still, but it's a model to look at and evaluate.
I mean,
I'm not buying a word of what these administrators are doing to puff themselves up.
I know. I'm just saying, if any of it's true, where they actually were like looking at this 5 years ago, potentially going,
none of it is.
Yeah,
none of it is. Stop. I mean, the thing was, they fired Tom Allen because Indiana had as a program, and Kurt Signetti was sort of a candidate for a bottom tier Power 4 job at the moment. Like, so I mean, Michigan State was looking for a coach at the same time. Signetti barely even registered because Michigan State was thought of as a better job than Indiana. So, you know, Indiana was probably not going to get Jonathan Smith. Like, that was probably not going to be the kind of move. Like, you know, Signetti was that candidate for that level of job. It was what I was saying at the beginning of the year. There was no way to really predict that he would do this based on what he had done in the past. He had been a very good coach and was worthy of a Power 4 job. But, like what they've done here is, like, historically unprecedented. So, like, there is just a ton of luck whenever you're hiring a coach. Like, you don't know what you're going to get.
Everything's a risk. Everything's a risk, just like recruiting or drafting a player. You think you know when you draft a player, you think you know what you're going to get, but there's probably some little inkling about something that people go, and then it shows up after you draft them. You're like, shit. You know, we just paid this guy $30 million to sit on the bench because he doesn't study playbooks. Jamarcus Russell. You know.
God.
You had nobody in mind when you made that comment, clearly.
My favorite. This would be too much of a digression. My favorite sports story ever involves Jamarcus Russell.
The playbook tape?
Yeah. The tape, that film.
I mean, at least he tried to bullshit it. Like, yeah, those are great plays. So, like,
how about Johnny Manziel talk about no playbook reading? He even admitted it.
If you're Jamarcus, you don't need to read a playbook. You can kneel at the 50-yard line and throw a ball through the uprights. That was all that he needed to show NFL teams.
So did Johnny Manziel, and look where they're both at.
Yeah. Did anyone remind him that if you throw a pass from your knee, that's a sack?
Yeah.
That's a loss of yardage.
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
Good
Well,
show.
let's wrap this. We were going to go 1 hour. We've been over it, but we got some great guests going on. Like the Hummus came in, Dave came in, Erica, of course, came in. Love that. What is so? Is there final thoughts here? Now seeing this, I think we all can agree. Really, just unprecedented 2-year run for Indiana, resulting in, again, 16-0, perfect national title. Like, is there just kind of a simple final thought on it, or is it more perplexing than anything?
Every team sucks but Indiana now. It's obvious. We all
Well,
suck now.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sean. You can give yours.
Okay, I'm just gonna say I think it's going to take a bit of time. It feels like the whole sport of college football, like this was sort of a pivot year, and what it's going to pivot to, I don't know. But the 3 of the 4 teams that were in the Final Four this year were not by any means traditional powers, and it's and are we going to? Do we expect this kind of turbulence going forward? Do we expect this is going to be a unique year and one to like study because somehow I feel like the sport has changed, and it going forward we'll see what it is changing into more than anything. But nonetheless, like Indiana. Historically, I think like worst Power 4 team in the country, or maybe the worst team in all of the FBS, wins the national championship. I mean, like something's changing here. Like something's in the air, and it'll take probably many years to figure out exactly what that is.
So it's not love in the air tonight.
It might be. I mean, we might be in the summer.
We can go backstage. Wait till we go backstage.
Well, they don't want to know what we do.
I'm just like, oh, I'm not gonna be here for that. Absolutely not. Erica's like, yeah. I'll watch.
Like what?
What? Nothing.
I totally didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry. It was probably better that way. It was probably better that way.
Oh, shit.
What I would kind of say as a thought of it is it just goes to show you like how things change in a couple years because we had this mentality of Indiana as an Ohio State. They were like my entire life. Like I'll be 44 years old, and I think I remember vaguely the last time Indiana, like my dad was maybe like yelling at the TV or something, but like I don't really remember when we lost to them. John Cooper's first year, and they beat us the year before too, which was Earl Bruce's final year. And the day that they lost that game, Earl Bruce had a quote, and he said, "This is the darkest day in the history of Ohio State football." And I know that was a long time ago, the reality of us looking at Indiana that way, but really things didn't change that much. It would have felt the same thing like 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Until they did like kind of invest a little bit with Tom Allen. Like the reality is that it would have felt just the same as it did back in like 1989, losing to them. And within 2 years, now beating them next year will be knocking the king off of the top of the mountain. You know, so it just goes to show you how quickly things can change. And it's just kind of it's almost surreal, like to look at the sport like that. And it also lends me to my final point, which would be maybe what we're actually experiencing here is the tinfoil hats are actually correct. And CERN ripped a hole in the fabric of space-time. And what happened is we went into a divergent timeline. And this timeline, Indiana is great. And I'll leave it at that. But that's just a theory.
Yeah. I'll add to that. I'll add to that point. I'm just add to that point real quick. Indiana, December. That was December. It completed. It's now all of the 11 team Big Ten that I grew up with. I have memories of beating Ohio State. Indiana was the only team from that Big Ten that I never remember which is good because I wasn't even alive the last time Indiana beat Ohio State. So
yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I would just say that I don't know if we'll see something like this again as far as Indiana's success this year. And when I say that, I mean, like we've said already, a bottom tier team, like in the basement of college football or FBS, coming up all the way to the other side of it and becoming champions and going undefeated. I'm not convinced we'll see that again, but it'll be interesting to see what does happen because it feels like every 5 minutes something about the sport changes, and I'm not breaking any news when I say that, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what else will change and how teams will be affected by that.
Yeah, I think all of your evaluations are correct. I mean, even maybe we're in an alternate timeline. You know, I mean, who knows? I'll put a tinfoil hat on. I mean, fuck me. Again, if you asked anyone in the last 5 to 10 years who was going to win their first national title, everyone said Oregon.
Yeah.
No one would have guessed Indiana.
No.
No one. And well, here we are, still titleless at the hands of Indiana. So fuck me. Oh, Duck Green too. Happy birthday this Sunday. Don't get too wasted. Go for it. Get hammered. Spaz.
Yeah.
Your kind of final thoughts. We're the newbies to the Big Ten, even though we've already won the Big Ten title.
Just keep improving.
I mean, your thoughts on Indiana?
They suck.
Just keep improving. No, Indiana, don't get better.
No, Indiana was the Cinderella this year. We'll see if it goes longer than that.
So did you see Indiana, the first time national champion since Florida in '96?
Wow.
Yeah, Tim Tebow.
Well, no, Tim Tebow was not
2000s. He was 2006, 7, or whatever.
No.
Yeah, they won it.
Oh, was '96 Warfel?
Yeah, the Warfel team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. In Florida State won it in '93, and I think you can draw distinctions between winning at Florida State and winning at Indiana. I mean, this is truly anomalous. I mean, it's hard to really absorb how strange this season was.
I have to agree in a kind of a final thought here is while I say I don't think we're going to see this type of, I don't want to say anomaly because it was a 2-year project, but going 2-10 to a playoff appearance, 11-2, and then 16-0, 2 years with the coach, you know, like that's just unbelievable. And yeah, I'm happy. I have no ills against Indiana at all by any means. I like Cignetti. Good for applaud again. No matter what you think, applaud the administration, applaud the coaching staff, applaud all the players, applaud everyone because they deserve it. They work their ass off, and
they gave us a lot of good meme material with Cignetti too. I love all those memes with him.
Yeah, the here's Cignetti when he's mad. Here's Cignetti when he's happy. Here's Cignetti when he's sad. You know, it's like
I love it.
It's just the same look every time. I did see him last night when he got dumped with the bucket, and he looked at the players like, "Fuck, that's cold." Like, fuck you.
I saw him smile last night. I never thought I'd see that.
It was
when you win the natty,
only
you
for a split
smile.
second. Yeah, it was only for a split second.
I'm not saying he's not allowed. I'm saying I'm shocked I saw it because I've never seen him smile before.
I think he's kind of likable. I know people at first were saying, "Oh, he's so arrogant and all this stuff." I think there's something. He's strange. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's not like weird, like Jim Harbaugh weird. He's just kind of
He's such an incredibly blunt person. It's fun listening to his interviews. Like there is zero BS to how he responds to questions. He's just
Yeah, I think that's what makes Signetti, as much as everyone, you see him on the sideline and everyone's like, dude, this guy looks like a fucking prick. I'm like, no, that's just his person. He's very serious. He takes everything serious and he doesn't bullshit people. That's just like his nature and his character. And I'm like, you know what? I respect that.
I like that about him. And I was one of those people who thought he was super arrogant when he said the whole thing, I win, Google me. I was like, who the hell does he think he is? But you know what? He backed it up.
You're like this. I retract that statement. I retract my statement.
So he can say that all he wants. He can tell people to Google him all he wants. And I respect it, you know?
Yeah. You Google him now, it says national championship winning head coach.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you know, like I had family that grew up in Youngstown, Ohio. I had family in Youngstown, Ohio. I've known a bunch of people from Pittsburgh. So if you know that geography everywhere, it's a similar region of the country. And he just kind of represented like the personality and the soul, which is like they're kind of endearing without being exceptionally warm, you know.
Well, I associate Youngstown with the Stoops, of course.
Yeah, absolutely, of course, yeah.
Rust Belt, Italian Rust Belt working class kind of grit, 100%.
Absolutely. So it's like, you know what, you know, you're just not going to indulge in much pleasure, but that doesn't mean you can't be clever or funny or entertaining, you know. It's kind of how Signetti is to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's all give a final quick cheers or thumbs up or whatever you want to Signetti and the 2025 Indiana Hoosiers. Their first national title.
Salute.
A perfect season.
Thumbs up. Till we play them next year and knock them off.
Absolutely. And we'll find out when we play them on Tuesday, correct?
They actually already announced the single game, Sean, for some odd reason. It's I believe it's October 17th. They announced that single game for some odd reason. Yeah.
So that's the one game they announced as Indiana and Ohio State.
Yep.
Other than
they announced that today.
So where's that game? Where's that game being played?
It's in Bloomington.
Okay. Which I mean, it'll be so interesting next year because every Indiana Ohio State game I've ever seen, and I've never been to an Indiana Ohio State game, but every one I've ever seen that was played in Bloomington was basically 80%. Buckeye fans.
Oh, that's about to change. That's about to change.
It's about to change.
If you're not familiar, Bloomington's like
because the colors are similar. Indiana Stadium would always be largely empty unless it was like Michigan or Ohio State or maybe Nebraska or whoever they would travel well. Well, Ohio State would always pack the stadium, and since the colors were so similar, they would do their media day photos and all that stuff on the day that Ohio State was there because it looked like they blew out the crowd.
That's awesome.
You don't have to worry about that now. I think we saw it in the playoffs. Indiana fans are here. Yeah, they're here now.
That stadium's small, though. I mean, it's only like a 50,000 person stadium. So, what are they going to do now? What kind of expansion can they?
Get pretty loud. So
there'll be a giant banner there somewhere.
But good luck to the Ducks and the Hawkeyes and even the Hoosiers. Like I said, until we play all of you, because we're all going to face off next year. So. Good luck to you all. Until that day.
I think we're in Bloomington too.
Yeah, Ohio State's Big Ten schedule next year is absolutely brutal. And They also have to play Texas unless they follow through on their threat not to play that game. So
Yeah,
Texas Tech, did
They
you
buy
say?
out of it.
it could change. You don't know what's going to happen year to year. But if you look at the final top 10 rankings of the Big Ten coming out of the year, Ohio State plays literally other than themselves. They can't play themselves. But out of the top 10, other than Washington, they play the other 8 out of the top 10 from this year. Crazy.
wow.
That's brutal.
Are we playing you guys next year?
Yeah.
Yep.
In
Is
Iowa
it in
City.
Iowa? Okay.
Yep.
All right. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's been a long time since Iowa played Ohio State. I think it was the 2020. I think it was the C.J. Stroud season when we last played them, wasn't it?
Oh no, definitely not. You guys played when Nate Stanley was there, and we beat you guys in Iowa, and then we played.
Wait,
Then we went to you
wait,
guys.
Nate Stanley was there before C.J. Stroud. I'm saying it's
Yeah,
been a
he's-
long time since Ohio
No.
State played. Period. Ohio State hasn't played Iowa.
No,
City.
we went to you
Iowa
guys
State.
like 2 years ago.
Yeah, but that was in
I don't-
Columbus. And I think the last time that we were in Iowa City was the blowout
Nate
year.
Stanley. Nate Stanley.
I think that's the last time we were in Iowa City.
Yeah.
That was. It's been at least 3 years since Iowa played Ohio State. Ohio State
Yeah.
played Iowa. And
And it was just 1 year, because after that it would have been the typical home and home that they used to do before
Yeah.
expansion. But I think that was the year before the league expanded, because that's what happened. We didn't get the return trip to Iowa City because the next year they scrapped all the existing conference schedules that would have been lined up. So that's
Yay.
an anomaly. That's how it happened.
Conference realignment.
Yep.
Yay.
yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
all
It's
right.
the Big Ten. It's no
Yeah,
I'm
longer
out
the
of
Big
here,
Ten.
guys.
I'm
I think
nostalgic. We should have another show about. We should have a show about that at some point.
We can have a rant show about that. But yeah, let's wrap this bitch up right now tonight. As again, congratulations, Indiana, on your national title. Perfect 16-0.
Yay, Indiana.
We are going to be here this Sunday for the After Dark show, probably 9 p.m. again, right after the NFL games end. Kind of do a 2025 season recap / season finale for the After Dark show. But then maybe we will have some custom nights once a month to do a rant and rave about things we hate or specific news updates or something like that, kind of during the off season before spring ball.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're in a dead period again. We're kind of like,
There's a million things we could probably talk about during the off season. So
I know. I'm just like, oh, it's 11 p.m. Yay. 4 a.m. comes real quickly.
we're supposed to be getting snow here tonight. I'm not looking forward to this.
That's a Saturday in Houston.
It's
Just-
God, we're our high Friday is supposed to be negative.
Yeah, similar here.
No one cares, Sean.
Everyone cares.
So gross. Come on.
Yes, bad say to everyone.
Lake Michigan is supposed to keep us a little bit warm. Just dump a lot of snow on us, okay? I don't need it to be. I don't need to walk outside and fear I'm going to break a bone.
Last week it was an ice rink, so that was a little scary to drive on.
Oh yeah, it's. Yep.
Anyway,
All right. Well, let's
that's
everybody.
an off-season topic.
exactly. Let's wrap this up. Hummus, thank you for coming. Erica, of course. We had Dave, Sean, as always, Spaz, and myself. And Hummus, you're the guest tonight. So would you like to do the honors and play us out with our favorite outro?
Yeah, play us out, Pop Tart, or something like that. I think.
Yeah, he got it.
I'm fucking on.
Good
He's
job.
on
Good
top of
job.
that. Thanks, everyone.
He's a
Have a
pro.
great one. See you Sunday night. Oh, yeah.
He never got this as a punishment.
This gets me so hot. Is this a hate crime still?
Strange enough.